Yeah. To all the ladies in the house. Another day in the ghetto. But look outside and I'm already upset, yo. It look about 102. It's a Saturday and Biggie ain't got nothing to do. I'm interrupted by a phone ring. Sometimes I wish.
Hi, I'm Paul Warren.
And I'm Ryan Klein.
And this is another episode of SEO is Dead and Other Lies. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I couldn't believe you didn't want to come over earlier.
Well, I'm here. That's how much I wanted to do it.
What were you worried about? Just bringing over your whole iMac?
No, I had other work I had to do too. Other projects, other things.
Pretty sure this is all you do.
Well, you know what? We have a great episode planned tonight. We've really thoroughly planned all of this. And we have a great guest.
Yes.
Ryan, introduce your guest to us.
Hey, what's up, Jared?
Hey, how you doing, Ryan?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, I'm just really glad that you're here and you're podcasting with us. I didn't know if it was going to happen, but here we are.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So
I'm a big fan.
You are. You listen to one podcast that we're not actually super proud of.
Wow.
Which one was that?
I told him I listened to the freelance episode, like how to be a freelance.
Oh, I like
SEO.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to take your guys' clients.
Oh.
Doesn't even make any sense. But
We
whatever.
said in the episode, don't take our clients.
Oh, that is
though.
right. Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
you do.
Don't do that.
Well, hopefully you picked up a couple of tidbits. Because I actually didn't like that one. I thought it was very
Did you get any clients?
No, I haven't tried.
Damn it!
I haven't tried yet, but I realized some of it was way over my head. You guys are smarter than me, so.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
So, what are we chatting about tonight?
Yeah, Ryan.
So, you're both looking at me. They're like off camera. Yeah, they both were looking at me.
You guys
like,
filmed this, right?
Yeah, actually we filmed the last one, but
It's live streaming.
yeah, they got deleted.
Just kidding.
So in the spirit of interviewing, what we're going to do is Jared's going to talk about 90% of the time, and then we're just going to ask a bunch of trivial questions, probably unrelated to his job, and he's just going to answer everything.
I do not want that to happen, but let's see.
No, in all reality, what we're going to talk about, and hopefully it goes well, and don't stop listening now, is we're going to interview Jared because he is in a senior position, if not the highest position at his respective company, in charge of the content for everything.
Yeah, so I'm the SEO and content strategist, the official title for HostTime. It is a data center infrastructure company. We're in 7 locations. But before that, I created a music publication called Too Good for Radio.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
We're not talking about that, though.
I'm not talking about that, though.
You're like, holy, come out of here already.
We're not talking about the cool thing you used to do.
The reason that Jared's here right now, besides that he's like, I guess, pretty cool guy that likes the Patriots, is that he's in charge of SEO and content, and that's a kind of a big deal for how big the company is. So the first question is, are you the only person in charge of this, perceivably huge role for this company?
Yes, I cover 100% of the content for both, not just so there's a HostTime blog where I try to write 3 articles a week related to the web hosting industry. And I also do the HostTime.com side, which is all of the product landing pages, essentially, trying to get the customer to the shopping cart.
I told you this was going to be a good podcast.
Ooh, you're right.
But I brought up...
This is Paul's like, I don't really think that I'm really sure. But you know what?
I'm
This
still
is
on Paul's
fantastic.
side.
Yeah. So
About what? Not wanting to talk about yourself?
I'm not on my side anymore. I'm on Ryan's.
Yeah.
So,
But I brought up that Too Good for Radio thing because I wrote 500 articles for that stupid little thing.
Super don't care. No, I'm just no, that's cool.
So that's kind of how I learned content, essentially, like what people are interested in and what they're not, what ranks, what doesn't.
why don't you walk us through your
how about we start
process
there?
for doing that?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, so essentially, like you're trying to solve for a problem, but nowadays, like when you type into Google, what do? Like you're pretty much asking it a question, like which
Google pornography. Go.
now.
Best boobies.
But no, it's kind of just like which toothbrush is the best to prevent cavities or something, right? And so you write towards that, and that's kind of so like with web, when I had music, that was easy. People like to read about music to get the latest songs, right? Mm-hmm. Web hosting. When was the last time you Googled like the web hosting industry, wanting to know the ins and outs? It's like so it's a bit more difficult to try to get people's attention and like what people are asking for that. But
Yeah, generally
I'm trying to do it.
When Ryan and I are Googling web hosting,
I already know what the keywords are.
We're
just,
looking for like really
cheapest
cheap
host.
ways.
Cheapest host.
I literally cheapest host.
Yeah, we're trying to
Ever.
build like a really black hat like link building network, and we just we want those cheap entering
We're
teaser
trying to
rates.
find like somehow someone overseas got their hands on a server actually in the States, and I want to pay about $1.49.
What is your web host of choice?
Yeah.
That's a good topic.
Ooh.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, I mean, like for you guys, I assume you guys have a bunch of websites
Actually,
between the two
I really
of you.
didn't know you
You
were
know?
doing interviewing us right
Yes,
now. But,
it's my show now.
But we
This is
did-
what this feels like, huh? I don't like it.
So before you ever ask us a question ever again, I'm gonna indulge you, and I'll say that we only do WordPress hosting. If it's PBN, we're not gonna go there. But if it's like actual like a website,
Like
for,
you care about
clients, it's either gonna be Media Temple or it's gonna be WP Engine.
I've been using
Okay.
A2 hosting, and I actually like them.
you like
hosting,
A2?
yeah.
What
like
the
'em.
hell?
Yeah.
Well, they've been around a long time.
I really don't like. What's the one that everyone kind of starts out with?
GoDaddy's the most famous.
Well, not GoDaddy. The other one. You know, we both used it before.
HostGator.
HostGator.
So HostGator,
I hate
yeah.
HostGator.
A small orange, not just the small orange.
A small orange.
Like I used to. So I started the first time I ever hosted a website was on HostGator, and I learned it from Alex Becker, and he probably made a lot of money off that affiliate link that he was getting for.
Was he speaking 4 times faster than he had to?
Yeah, but
You
at
love
least
him?
I could understand
But
what
you
he
were
was
getting
talking
8
about.
times the amount of knowledge.
Oh, so much knowledge.
I can already tell this podcast. Bear with us, everyone. It's going to be a good one, but it's going to be a little scatterbrained because we might have had a couple drinks beforehand.
No,
All right,
this is
so,
good. This
So
is
let's.
solid.
Well, you haven't. Paul hasn't. Let's go back. So Jared,
Hey, I have another question to ask.
Oh,
No,
damn it.
no. How about you answer for every 5 questions you ask?
Well, you said you guys
Or
do
you
just
answer.
WordPress sites, right? Is that because you are you're knowledgeable with that, or is it
I mean, is
an
that
SEO
the-
benefit to it?
No,
There's a lot of reasons.
so
Like, why not go Wix essentially?
well, because Wix makes you pay for every additional little add-on of things, right?
Like
So
widgets?
In an ideal world, you've custom made your website, right? You're just hard coding it because they load way faster and stuff. But with WordPress, there's so many people that are developers, so it's really cheap to find anything to be done like custom. And there's like a plugin for like anything that you would possibly need, and like there's just tons of like free easy themes. Wix, there's just like not a lot of functionality built into it already, and like if you want things, you have to pay extra for it, right? Both of those sites can rank in Google just fine. Google doesn't care like what your CMS is at all. Like Drupal sites rank, hard-coded websites rank, all that stuff ranks. As long as
.NET
you're-
Nuke even ranks.
yeah, as long as there's tons of CMS out there in Google. They're just looking for like metadata, ranking information, content on page, that kind of stuff, and whatever gets you there is fine. But we use WordPress just because it's the most popular CMS on the planet. So
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
answer. Good answer.
What about my answer?
I don't care
I
about
mean,
answer.
two reasons that make it a lot more succinct than needed: security and full, customizability. I guess.
Yeah.
customizability.
Customization. Wait,
Securitability and
I like
customized-
adding a couple syllables.
I know what you're
everything,
saying.
So it sounds smart.
And also, you don't have to pay for every little thing.
The thing is, the website at the end of the day is never going to be complete your website. If you take it over to WordPress, it is 100% no matter what. You're going to be able to, if you want to dig into PHP, cool. JavaScript, whatever, customization is the proper way of saying it.
Are you guys
Yes.
good with that, or you outsource that?
With what?
As far as-
You make your WordPress sites essentially.
It just depends on how customized. There's stuff that I can't do that I would outsource for sure.
Okay.
But like if it's just a really like plain simple, I'll just use a pre-built theme and just run with that.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, the thing is, the WordPress has come a long way. And you're talking about what it used to be like when it started off 6-7 years ago, when it was susceptible to getting hacks and malware and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe you weren't the best person to do it, but now with the WordPress the way it is now, and PHP the way it is now, you don't really have to do that unless you want to do something insanely specific. You want to like customize and alter plugins, and you want a PHP consultant. Sure. Man, you see how Jared kind of just
Hey,
took
Jared, you know
over.
what?
Can
You
this be the
answer
podcast?
my question.
Can I interview you guys for a while?
No, we're going to talk about you.
I actually think that one day we are going to be interviewed, but tonight
It's not gonna be that
it's not
day.
Tonight,
No.
no, that's cool. So anyway, we're going back to like how you actually got to let's flip the script. I mean, so yeah, you're doing Too Good for Radio. You're starting to get a grasp on like what people want content wise.
Yes.
How did you end up at a hosting company anyway? Let's get your backstory. Let's like turn this into like a real story.
Oh boy, I haven't thought about this in a while. But like, actually, it was a friend. Well, how I got the job there. It was actually a friend of mine. Her name was Nikki, and she was leaving, and she was like, "You'd be good for this." And it was essentially just to write on the blog.
So you like writing?
I do. I'm one of the rare segments of the population that
This-
I enjoy the blank page.
Now it's my turn to go off the path just for a second.
Sure.
Do you write on other stuff? Do you write poetry? Do you write like short stories?
No, actually, I'm writing actually a podcast, like kind of like a nonfiction one, like Serial, something like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, I'm not. I don't do poetry or.
Don't tell me you're gonna do another true crime.
Dude,
That is
But
just
like,
gonna play out.
I wrote like I was like film school. I wrote like a script in college, all that stuff. So like I do like writing all forms.
Okay.
No wonder you're friends with Andrew.
There it is. Yeah.
Cool. No one knows who Andrew is. Doesn't matter.
He's been
I
on
like
here.
how you bring up random people.
He's
that
been
no one knows
on. He's
on the
been on
podcast.
here.
He has
Oh yeah, he
been
was
in-
episode. The first.
He was episode
like
1
3
through
or
40. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, one of those.
3 BC. Cool. So you're there. You're situated with an extremely important role. I mean, honestly, nowadays, content and how you present yourself on website conversions. I mean, you're really in charge of an integral part of your business's growth. Why do you feel like
Tell my manager that, please.
Why do you feel like you deserve it?
Deserve what?
Okay, you don't have to answer that question.
What are you talking
But I have an
about?
actual question for
Thank
you.
Finally.
All right, so you're in a very difficult niche to write about, right? Like
Yes.
people. So where do you start with keyword research? Like, how do you come up with the ideas for your articles?
Sure, that's a great question. Like, for
Finally, that's right.
finally a good one. Well, so okay, where are we now? We're in May. So last month was April, right? And it was
Is that how the Gregorian calendar works?
So one was like tax season, and so it was like I sort of just try to find a problem, like what questions are being asked, right? So it's like not a lot of people are again trying to find web hosting topics. So it was essentially like, can you tax deduct your web server essentially?
That's
so
cool, yeah.
So how did you find that people are like asking that though?
So what I did was I used what did I use? I used have you guys heard Uber Suggest?
Yes,
that
sure,
thing.
sure.
Yeah,
We've talked about it on here before, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, you just ask the public too. 'Cause you're
Yeah.
gonna get a big furry man that's gonna do this a lot.
What do you mean? Ask the public.
That's
It's
actually
like
the
a
name of the
competitor
website.
of
Uber Suggest.
Well, they're buddies.
Like Ryan doesn't like Uber
Well,
Suggest because
because
it has a guy.
isn't keyword planning like the main one essentially, like the Google keyword planner?
No,
Yeah.
nah.
Oh no,
That's
You saw the unanimous no.
That's used.
those are the two I use.
That's
I
a
think.
paid search tool.
Yeah, you're a tool.
I'm leaving.
Okay, let's get back in.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Uber
I-
Suggest though is what you use to kind of do your keyword research.
Yes. So like recently, what was it? My the boss was like, "Hey, we need to rank for carrier neutral data center. That's the main thing." And I was like, "Oh boy,"
Wow.
I'm like, "That should be."
What's the volume around that?
Right.
you know?
So I looked. It was only
Zero.
like 100
NA?
searches a month, right?
Is that internationally too? You have clientele all over the place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Eight countries.
Let me ask you though. This is a little off topic, so just keep this in the back of your mind. Do you have your website in like different languages as well?
Yes.
You do.
But I don't handle any because essentially it's like third-party companies that we bought and they still maintain it. So I just do the U.S.
I love business acquisition. Another day.
Another day. Oh, okay. All right. So all right. So that you're.
I love
you're
how there's
doing
like
that.
off-topic, or I mean like topics you're not allowed
Well,
to
what
talk
I
about.
what I do is I like actually take the topic and then I research it and I talk and I put it on top of this podcast and you actually listen to two things at once.
Hey, you stop asking. You just answer our questions, damn it.
What is going to be the title of this one?
It's gonna be like,
what kind of interview is this? Huh?
General questions.
it's gonna be the first guest that wouldn't shut the hell up.
Our first guest banned from our show. Great.
So you want to rank for that now? What are you doing?
Say that again?
The carrier pigeon server.
Oh, carrier pigeon. No, so I'm just saying what happened to me this month. So it was like carrier neutral data center. I typed it and our company wasn't there. Fix it, essentially was what I was told. So what I do was I went to Uber Suggest in the Google keyword planner and I typed in that. I got all the variations of that. So when I wrote an article,
What
I
you're
made
doing is
sure
working. I typed it and you didn't rank for it. And I didn't find you.
Exactly.
You know how many times I've heard that like throughout
Right.
my career?
So is that what happened, or actually?
That's exactly what
8
happened.
million times.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, okay, well, let me write this article and then let's talk in a week. And then so now
A
we're
week? What
Well-
are your expectations for
Well,
how quickly?
well,
someone
this
index
was a
rank?
keyword. This example keyword only had, like we said, 100 searches a month. So that was an easy one to rank for.
Sure.
But he's like, okay, we have a new cloud product. Can we rank for cloud? And I'll see you in a week. And that's not going to happen.
But
No.
but don't have to compete with the Weather Channel. So like, so how do you? How do you set expectations with like the person that's like, I want you to do these things? How do you measure success, and how do you set expectations saying like, I need a week, I need 3 weeks, I need 10 weeks, I need 4 years? Like, how do you?
Great
how do you
question.
do- how do
Great
you
question, Ryan. Luckily, like I have like lenient, like it's nothing like that. There's no deadline. It's like by this time I need to see this. But we meet once a month, and I have like sort of like a 5-page report, SEO report. I send him, I show him, and it'll be like, well, we need to rank for dedicated server, and we need this amount of click through rate and stuff, and I show him whether we hit it or not.
So some of these keywords are really tough, and some of them you'll never hit no matter what. Being that
With
there's
that attitude,
well, you know what? It's called being pragmatic.
Man.
And there's some things that's like a lawyer coming to me and say, I want to rank for lawyer.
Sure.
Like cloud, dedicated server. These are insane keywords. There's hundreds, if not thousands. Of
so when he
websites.
comes to me and says we need to rank for cloud server by next week or something, I'm gonna say, obviously that's not realistic. But then I go to the long tail keywords and I say like something like Orlando cloud server, is realistic. We can get that in the next time we speak.
That's an interesting topic now that we're gonna segue into that real quick. Do you think for hosting there's any importance to having a geographic modifier to anything that you do?
Yes, actually, because I actually wrote an article about this. Like, does your server location affect your ranking, kind of? And it has to do with latency, because I mean, obviously, we know that page speed is a big thing with Google, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be as close to your target market, to your clients, as possible.
Why do you want to be as close to them as possible?
That's what I just said.
I mean, the latency between where your server is and where their website is.
If your server's in Orlando, you don't want to hook up with a data center in England, right? Because it has to go across the Atlantic Ocean. And so you want to be as close to your target or your data center as possible. How you know that is pretty tough. Like, do you know where your data center is for?
They're always in Las
no
Vegas,
idea.
Chicago.
Utah's
Or
the big
Utah.
one. Utah's
Yeah.
the big one. Provo, Utah.
It's
I don't
also
know.
where all the credit card companies are. Utah. So they're taking your credit card monies. They're building data centers. I figured it all out.
Now I hate where this podcast is going.
Yay!
That's where the NSA is.
They're there too.
They're listening in. Yeah,
Oh my
Bravo,
God.
Utah.
They're out of control.
Yeah,
It must
isn't
be
that
a
right?
really cool city.
So you think there is a direct correlation though, like between rankings?
Well, you're talking about site speed stuff, and I know Google definitely considers it being a huge factor. I mean, if your website takes 8 seconds, Google's going to be like, yeah, it's taking a while. But I think that actually did a couple of surveys that showed even Google will give you a little bit of leeway. It's about user experience too. Like, people are not going to wait for your website to load.
I totally.
What is it, like 2 seconds? And then
Oh my
Actually,
God,
do you know what
people
people
that
they load other parts of so there's been a lot of studies with this, right? So let's say for whatever reason you're not gonna get past a certain point of page speed, load time, because just the type of site that you have, but you do basically a skeleton type load where you load the frame around it first, and then all the other stuff comes later on. So it just at least gives the appearance to people that it's it's getting there, and it's not just a blank page loading, and so they back out at way less rates than that. I don't know if you guys are checking or doing that, but it's really awesome, especially if you have a really really large site.
The only thing I've heard about that is the websites that load everything above the fold, and then once you start kind of scrolling down, it'll load
Then it loads
more.
everything.
Yeah.
If you can do anything like that, it helps out huge with keeping people on the page.
That's great.
Is that called lazy load or something?
It's actually useful.
Lazy load, I think, is exactly what it's called.
Lazy load.
Because I'm too lazy to think about what else it'd be called.
You might want to fact check that.
No, I think it is.
I don't know.
So, what's an article that you wrote where you're like, holy crap, I just crushed it?
What did you get? What's the most traffic you ever got into an article?
Oh boy, great question. Well, so I might still be the top ranking for if you type in App Store sucks, or you type in it. It's App Store sucks or Apple App Store sucks, because I really hated the Apple App Store, and it was 1,000 words on what they're doing wrong and how they can improve it.
That's pretty
And
sweet.
last time I checked, I was still number one. I was like, oh, that's
Is that for your current job?
yeah.
There's an
yeah.
article on your website
so
that talks
I pretty
about
much try to
Apple
write
sucking.
let's say I do 6 a month. I try to do 5 for the company and 1 for myself, where I'll just bitch about something or highlight something that I like.
You're like, what's the deal with Game of Thrones? It's like so crazy now.
Well, Game of Thrones can tell you about your server.
I started calling people season 8 episode 3ers when I completely think they're idiots.
Well, you have to explain that further. I have no idea.
Because the episode is so bad. That's the episode everyone was going nuts about.
Was that the one that was really dark?
Yeah, the one that was dark.
The
and the one that Arya does stuff that no one makes sense.
She does a spoiler.
So that's why I call them season 8 episode 3ers.
Dude, let's not talk about Game of Thrones in this episode.
Oh, okay, we're done.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
So,
we're going to talk about.
So that article might have been like heavy for traffic, but what was an article that you did that was like heavy on conversions?
Okay, well, there was a recent one where I had to rank for Latin America data centers, and that was something that it was just like, what?
Paul's like, I know all about those.
This is funny.
No, it's just kind of random, yeah.
But
Right
that was one that like we saw a ton of people. Like I got to get them from the blog to the shopping cart essentially, and we saw like a bunch of conversions on that, and I was like, hell yeah. But I don't really have.
Hey, Jared, listen up. Do you have a checklist that you go through every single time you create a page where you make sure every single item on that checklist enhances or augments
Or
the
better
chances?
your chances of conversions.
Yes.
I need to.
How did you finish my sandwich there?
So
I must have said that before.
You know, like CTAs, like above the fold, things like that.
Sure. Like I read somewhere too that if you say in like the first sentence like what the overall article is going to be, and again it's like keyword stuffing. Like you have the average article is 500 words, right? You can only have your keywords so many times, but as long as you get it in the first sentence and it like it's gonna rank usually as long as it's niche enough.
So while we're talking about conversions, one of the things that I did at a previous company, we did for like every article was give like an estimated time to read like the article, like overall it's gonna be like 5 minutes to like read this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like those? I think that they're annoying.
Well, no. Are you talking about actually showing the time it takes to read?
Yeah,
we
tell
them
them
it's like it's gonna take about.
Yeah, it's been
like,
popular lately.
Well, it's kind of funny because he says like it probably takes about 8 minutes. I said I bet I can do it in 4.
Well, good on you. I like to add videos and stuff into articles as well. I think that really enhances like your time on page for it, but also like your conversion rates because it gives you like 2 options to convert to.
It's a good point. Have you ever considered like as another form of content, because people like other forms of content depending on what their preference is, about sitting down and doing a video?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we have a video like
Department.
marketer, that just does videos, and it's like I'm putting the questions on you guys. Like, what? Okay, so we have a ton of videos. And I'm like, I need to go back now and kind of SEO these videos. Do you have any suggestions on like stuff I can do to
SEO videos?
Yes, YouTube specifically.
Yeah, I think that you should refer to our podcast.
Oh, you have one?
Do we do one of those?
I
think we did.
Sure. I mean, we've done like dozens.
Can you sum it up in 1 minute, essentially? So you just pretty much have a great description and then have a good
there's like a
screenshot
you
picture.
Can follow.
Where are they hosted? First of all, are they?
What do you mean?
Are they YouTube videos?
Yeah, they're YouTube. Yeah, they're not our own, or they're not Vimeo.
There's a lot of options on there.
Yeah, I did a YouTube video that got around. I think it's close to 200,000 views now.
Gee, 200,000?
Yeah, for like for a company that I worked for. But there's like there's a lot of things.
What do you attribute that to? Like, was it just good luck, or is like you knew you did certain configured it?
There ain't no good luck in SEO.
Yeah, man, that's skill.
There are a lot of variables.
Attribute it to myself, and I'd like to thank me and me alone.
So let's go through it. Title, description, keywords, tags.
Yeah, the image.
The image is something that like we had a meeting about today. Like, so like what. I don't know where to begin with.
They tend to
like
images with like people in them.
Yes. Okay.
YouTube rewards. What's weird is like YouTube like will pick winners and losers. It's not really.
It's YouTube doing it. It's not people clicking on the picture.
It doesn't really work like Google does, right? Where it's just algorithmic. There's like other stuff. Like they'll literally pick like it's like why is PewDiePie? You know how many people like review video games and crap, and like but they like picked him to be like the winner for whatever reason, right? And he makes like millions of dollars.
Swedish.
So, but like there's like conspiracies around that. Like like who they pick to get it out.
Sure.
Because
And who they censor,
might be
essentially.
doing all the same stuff. What's really important though is in the actual video itself, you want to say the keywords that you want. Like YouTube's really smart now. They know like what videos are about. They can even transcribe just the video without you giving them that information, right?
Yeah, that's a great point, because originally they'll try to offer their own transcription when you're done with it,
Yeah.
and then it'll be like you can edit it to be like smarter than a algorithm,
Yeah.
But
they'll pick up the keywords.
So
originally,
for this one video, I did all those things, and like I did some good keyword research. I had really good tags in it. I did all like the stuff that's like the bare minimum to do to like a good video for like $10, right? It was very, very cheap, and it just got like the gears rolling, and then all of a sudden it was like 200,000. So just like it like blew up. I mean, so it got consistently like 10,000 a month, like every month for months and months and stuff, and it got about 50 leads like a month actually off the video.
Wow.
Like just the link in it, so it was pretty good. Yeah, but
50 leads a month. That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty hard to get leads from a YouTube video.
Yeah, actually, we've almost completely written off video SEO as being a lead generator.
Yeah. But we had that. We used a different video service on our website because I don't really think that the YouTube player looks like particularly professional.
Right.
And then
At all.
also, they make you keep the title in it, and you cannot remove the title.
Yeah.
anymore, which looks like crap.
That's another thing. So
What do you mean you can't edit the title after you publish?
Well, back in the day, if you embed like the YouTube video, you used to be able to like remove like the controls and like
Oh,
the title.
yes.
and all
Just
that
have
crap.
the video.
Yes.
And
yes.
now like the title's there and you can't remove it.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
So we used a different one. It's actually the same one that like Moz uses, a bunch of other websites use. But you can do lead capturing within the video, so like a form will pop up at any time that you want during the video, and it's like
That's sick.
Or you can stop the video like halfway through, and it's like, hey, give me your email if you want to watch the rest of the video.
Jerry's gotta
So
do this stuff.
yeah, you can
Are
do,
you,
you can do
you're
all
gonna
this.
take
Like-
notes? You didn't bring a notepad?
I need
Yeah.
to go back and listen to your episode. I need to come for future episodes and just listen.
Yeah, and it syncs with like Salesforce very easily, so you can track all of that information and attribute the lead back to like where it's coming from. So yeah, it's actually a really, really good way to do video marketing. So I always I never use the same, like I do a YouTube video that's about that subject, like that I have a blog post about, and then I put a video on there through a different player. So it's like you get to like the video or like the article through like Google, but you really don't want to read all of that. Like sometimes like I don't want to read like a 1,000-word article, and if there's a video that's just gonna sum all that shit up like
Sure.
really quickly, I'll definitely like watch it.
I also like that people are using the phrase TLDR a lot more, because at first I thought it was obnoxious, and I think it's funny. So like TLDR.
So when you see a long article, you go to the end and see did they sum it up for me?
Sometimes people they say the estimated time to read it is 8
Yeah.
minutes and say 4 minutes. The TLDR will be like, listen,
Yeah.
this is it in two paragraphs. If you want more elaboration, keep
I would
going.
literally make like an H2. It's like, and if you don't want to read this, watch this video below.
Yeah,
And-
TLDRs,
and like people are
they're
like,
funny.
yeah. So
It's hilarious.
TLDR is at the top or at the bottom?
I do at the top.
At the top.
It's at the top because it's
It's on a Reddit post. It's always
yeah,
at the
because
bottom.
Yeah. That's how I know it.
I've seen articles more and more starting to integrate like TLDR, like either like bullet form or like a couple takeaways at the top.
Well, that's smart too because like they say you want to get your point across at the beginning, and if you're like fancy yourself an arter, you're like I'd like to weave a story. They're not going to know what this is about until halfway in or the end and stuff like that. That's not the best for SEO, right? So that TLDR at the top, that's something I might start to try. That's an interesting idea.
Plus you get to like throw in your keywords like pretty quickly too.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah, you should just go. You should put for TLDR, go to the middle, and then there's a CTA in the middle,
Send them on
right below the
scavenger
TLDR.
hunt.
Yeah, like there you go.
So if you were to have a pop up on your website, what would your pop up say?
Surprise!
Surprise!
What do you mean, like if
Like-
I
like-
had JaredSmith.com?
No, I'm not talking about your personal website. I'm talking about host time. So, would it be like a promotion? Would it be like additional information? Would it be something trending? Like, do you have any opportunities?
That's a good question.
To have pop-ups?
Well, we don't have pop-ups, but I think I would try to. The pop-ups could be like targeted, like localized. So like if it was an Orlando company or something that was in, be like, hey, we offer, we can take your servers out of the closet and bring them to our data center, essentially.
So you're gonna take their servers and put them in your data center?
That's what we do.
But then it's so bulky. They're so big. They're so outdated. Do you just have
Many companies just have their server on premises.
Really? You just have like a big warehouse with everyone's outdated servers just chilling in there?
Well, we bring them to the 21st century. What would your pop-up be if you had to choose?
For SEO's Deadcast?
If you guys had a website.
It would say, please download.
Download and subscribe.
Rate us.
It'd probably say,
Also, please rate us.
do you want bonus material? Just download the podcast again. Because there's no other content.
Can I get the TLDR of this podcast?
Oh, no.
The TLDR is listen to the
Micro
first 2
content.
minutes and then nothing else.
Making micro content here, buddy. So, okay.
I feel like there's a lot more we can talk about, but we're not going to.
We're having technical difficulties, to be honest with you.
We'll do a part 2 later.
Yeah, actually. There's
Part 2 would
to
actually
talk
make
about.
complete sense.
Where I'm going to interview you guys some more.
No.
I want to interview you guys.
Stop it.
You definitely asked more questions than we did. Or is
Well,
it
mission,
equal?
mission accomplished.
It's not
50-50.
equal. Yeah. That's the first, though. So.
Well, and that's starting to get a little quiet because I'm waiting for you to wrap it
Dead
up.
air. Oh, you're waiting for me to wrap up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on our show tonight.
It was a pleasure.
I think that it felt like we've been doing this an hour, but it's only 30 minutes.
God.
It normally goes the other way around.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's okay. It's everyone's fault. We met John Dawkins and Josh Heupel today.
Dude, they don't want to hear about our sports fanhood.
We used to talk about UCF
Stop
stuff
talking
all
about
the
that.
time.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna do that.
Okay, fine.
We're gonna do it. Anyways, well, everyone listening, thank you so much. We appreciate all of our listeners out there. And be sure to subscribe or like our podcast. That way we get better rankings in iTunes and things like that.
I'm going to do that when I get home.
Yeah, we want to get all the rankings so we can quit our
build
jobs
us
and just
links.
do this.
Go into Black Hat World or go into Word Forum or go into Fiverr, go into Legit, go into Conquer, buy us packages. That's our Patreon.
Yeah.
And just send us a bunch of links that are not
'cause,
negative.
We're not making any money off this, guys. We're doing
We're
this for
actually
free.
losing a lot of money.
Tons of money.
Not just a little bit.
At least $100 a year. That's what it costs to
Sounds
host,
about right.
host the stuff.
Split
Yeah.
50-50.
Anyways, but thanks so much for listening, guys. And thanks for being on as our guest. And so I'm Paul Warren.
And I'm Ryan Klein.
And you want to say your name too?
Jared Smith.
Yeah, Jared Smith.
Hey, you.
Hey, you. Thank you for being there.
Get over
yeah.
here. Ask
Yeah.
some small
But thanks for being
questions.
on, and we appreciate it. And we'll probably have a part 2 of this at some point.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.